the new Shay for Super League Live tonight. Halifax against the Wigan Warriors. Halifax, who won 10 of 11 home Super League games last year. And would you believe only Wigan won here on July the 31st by 20 points to 14. Will it be same again in 1999? The Halifax Blue Sox hope not, despite the fact that they've suffered 3 defeats from their first 5 of 1999. Wigan tonight, then Bradford next Friday, a match you can see with us here on Sky Sports. So we're keeping tabs on the Blue Sox over the next 7 days. 7 days that might make or break their season. The only team that won here during the weekly rounds last year. Rarely have Wigan been so hard hit by injuries for many a year. Johnson, Horton, Radlinski, Smith, they're all out. It's a major problem for the coach, John Money, but he looks contented enough, doesn't he, despite all of that. The Wigan coach, this though is the side that he faces. The Blue Sox have a former Wiganer, Cardis at fullback, Gibson, another former Wiganer, Craig, Bouveng and Pinkney. He passed a late fitness test on knee ligament damage. Holroyd and Clinch, the new halfback combination here at the new Shay. And the forwards, Broadbent, Rowley and Skerritt, the captain, who of course is a former Wigan great. Clark and Bloom in the second row. Interesting selection, Jamie Bloom in the second row. And Chris Chester returns from injury to loose forward. And on the bench for the Blue Sox, Marshall, Hobson, Gillespie and Seal. And the coach, a former Wigan reserve coach, John Pendlebury. How he'd love to beat the Warriors here tonight. This is the side he'll have to overcome. Wes Davis takes his place at fullback. Three-quarter line of Robinson, Connolly, Gilmore and Moore. Florimo returns from injury to partner Reber at half. And then up front, Cowie, Cassidy, who's having a wow of a season, and Mestrov, Betts and Ball. And Farrell is the loose forward and captain as ever. And on the bench, O'Connor, Goldspink, young Mark Smith, he's only 17, and Phil Jones, we'll get our first glimpse of him, signed from Lancashire Lynx, the Division 2 Player of the Year in 1998. The coach is John Money, as we say. Halifax going through their pre-match ritual to build themselves up for this match. As we said in the build-up with Malcolm, really, you don't need really to motivate a team for a game against this lot, the Wigan Warriors. And Andy Farrell leads them out. 4 victories to take them to second place in the table. Just the 1 defeat by St Helens on Good Friday. But look at the attacking power and the defensive quality that Wigan possess. Paul Johnson's not in the side, he's out injured, but Mick Cassidy most certainly is. And what a season it has been so far for Mick Cassidy. Out come the Warriors then. Stern faces, tension, particularly on some of the young faces in this team. And they receive the welcome from their supporters who have journeyed through snow, sleet and rain to be here tonight. And now the Blue Sox. 9 men moved out during the winter, 6 new faces in. And as we say, that takes time to settle down. Just the 2 victories then to take them to 9th in the table. 3 defeats and only 14 tries scored. They'll have to improve on that and indeed on their defence. Nick Pinkney is here though, knee ligaments all week, but he's fit and available to play. And Paul Rowley is the top tackler, the little hooker with 133 tackles. Not only is he a destroyer, he is a marvellously gifted attacking player as well. And out they come, the Blue Sox. This was Fortress New Shay last year, but in 1999 the standards have slipped a little. But Steve-O, the night that Halifax can get their season up and running.
Well, I'm sure that their coach, John Pendlebury, was saying exactly that it has taken them a while with the new guys to mix into the side. It's always difficult, but they really have to make sure that their defence is spot on tonight. That has been their problem throughout this year, and I'm sure that the Wigan coach, John Money, will be applying the pressure right from the start.
The statue of Halifax and the new Shay, and Russell Smith is tonight's match referee. Top referee in the game. And Russell Smith in 2 weeks' time will be in control of the Challenge Cup final at Wembley. Such has been his performances this year in the Super League. So it's Halifax Blue Sox in the blue and white hoops, attacking from right to left as we watch against the Wigan Warriors here at the new Shay. Holroyd gets us underway, high hanging kick, and underneath it is Florimo, and the battle is immediately joined. Rowley in quickly with Broadbent, and Broadbent will make the hard yards and make the big tackles for his team here tonight. That's Danny Moore, named on the wing, but he's not operating on the wing at the moment. He might now slip out there. This, meanwhile, is Rob Ball, one of the newcomers. 5th appearance in a row for him, though. Good defence from Halifax early. Good set of 6 in defence for them.
Moving up in a straight line, the Blue Sox.
Mestrov now for Wigan, not even over the halfway line. That's the last. Cassidy dummy half, back it goes to Farrell. The charge down from Farrell. The race is on. Boubeng is after this. But also there very quickly, Wes Davis, good reaction from the young man.
Did so well there, rebounded away, but Wes Davis really did everything right. Put his body between the ball and the onrushing men.
And of course, because the Halifax man charged it down, Des Clark, I think it was, Wigan's tackle count was back to 6. So they get second use of the football immediately. Farrell gets to his feet, plays the ball to Cassidy, and he finds Dennis Betts. Good tackle from the big men, Skerritt and Broadbent. Cassidy to Florimo. Florimo looking to kick. Over the top it goes. And over on that far side, Damien Gibson, the Welsh international, picks it up. Good chase by the Wigan Warriors.
Tremendous stuff there, leading the way. Gilmore, of course, not playing in the forwards tonight. He's taken up the position in the centre, but such a good utility player. Miles offside.
Offside, Tony Mestrov picked out by Russell Smith.
Tony Mestrov set off far too early, 3 metres in front of me.
A little bit too eager there. And he could see that the whistleblower, Russell Smith, had already pointed out to the prop forward. It will be a hard night for the Packs on both sides.
Interesting selection, Steve-O, of Jamie Bloom, who just took that penalty and dumped it into touch in the second row.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how he handles the pressure there, and also his discipline. He can sometimes just lose the plot somewhat.
Skerritt with a drive forward. They know all about him, of course, at Wigan, Mick Cassidy in particular. Rowley to Broadbent. Broadbent charges past Betts.
Well, they're the 2 players that Halifax really need to have a big game tonight. The 2 prop forwards, Broadbent and Skerritt. Interesting to see how Skerritt handles the full 80.
This is Holroyd, back it comes to Cardis. And Cardis is hauled down about 5 metres short of the Wigan line. This is Gavin Clinch, on it goes to Holroyd. He looks wide and finds the tall figure of Chester. Skerritt will take it forward. That's the 5th and last for the Blue Sox, this set of 6. Here's Holroyd now. Dabs it in towards the corner. Danny Moore is over there. Danny Moore gets it. Good jump by him against David Boubeng.
Took it well there. Boubeng was going up for it. It was a beautiful pinpoint kick there by Graham Holroyd. He showed that in the build-up to this match that is one of his biggest skills from Graham Holroyd. It was a great kick.
3.5 minutes gone then here. I wonder how the players are coping with the conditions underfoot. The pitch, I must say, doesn't look too bad from up here. What say you, Bill Arthur, downstairs?
You're right, Eddie, as the knock-on is given against Wigan. The conditions really are amazingly good, considering, as we said before the game, we've had snow, we've had rain, we've had hail, we've had the lot. And yet it is really firm underfoot, and so the players should like this. It's not muddy, but it is very cold indeed.
Yes, it's a chilly night here in West Yorkshire, but the pitch, Steve-O, after the treatment that it's received from the elements today, it's superb.
Sure is, until we see someone slip, then they'll be pointing to that for an excuse. But full credit to the groundsman here.
Little knock on. No hands in the ball. Hands into the ball by the Wigan captain Farrell. So it's a penalty to Halifax.
Just a little bit of a touch there. Trying to prevent Boubeng from getting up and playing the ball very quickly.
And needless to say, from this sort of range, John Pendlebury will be delighted to see that his players are going to have a shot at goal here. Graham Holroyd will have his first kick of the night. Over 1,000 career points. He joined this, his hometown club, from the Leeds Rhinos during the winter. Substitute in the grand final against Wigan at Old Trafford last year. Holroyd now very much at the hub of things for the Blue Sox.
Gives them time to settle down as well. They want to try to keep Wigan starved of the football tonight.
Chance here then for the first points of the night from the boot of Holroyd. And the flags will tell you that Holroyd has found the mark. And the Blue Sox lead by 2 points to 0.
Just one of the reasons why Graham Holroyd was wanted by the Halifax board. Snapped him up when Leeds were quite happy to release him. And a big bonus to them.
Well, the referee just calls time off. They're waiting for the football to be returned, so let's have a look at the head-to-head, and you can see the overwhelming advantage that Wigan have since 1973. 25 victories, only the 2 to Halifax, 3 draws. That's in 30 meetings, and look at what it is here at Halifax. Just the 1 win to the Blue Sox in Halifax, either here at the new Shay or at Thrum Hall, and they've only recorded just the 1 victory at Central Park as well. So a dreadful recent record against the Wigan Warriors for the Halifax Blue Sox. This is Andy Craig, substitute in the last 3 for Halifax, and now Broadbent. Disentangles himself from Cowie, and here's Des Clark with the traditional now for him, the black marks underneath the eyes. Must worry about the floodlights here, Steve-O, at the new Shay. If he turns around, you'll see them.
It's what they do in the American game, gridiron, and also some of the Australian games when they play on the floodlights. It's often use them. It takes away the shine.
Connolly, the dummy half. Now it's with Jason Robinson. Chester and Bloom get him. Cassidy, but Halifax far too quick off the mark. Broadbent.
That's good work by the official, Russell Smith. At least he knows that the crowd here want an open game, so do the viewers. And I think that's what we're going to get. He's taking them back to full 10. Gives both sides the opportunity to play attractive football.
Nestrov to within 11 metres of the Halifax line. Big chance here for Wigan. Cowie and Cassidy on the run around. Cassidy trying to dart through. He released the ball brilliantly. And this is a chance for Ball. And has Rob Ball got the ball down? He thinks he has, but the referee wants the video referee to clarify.
Well, I must say Cassidy did well to release this. Now then, did Ball get it there? Now, does the ball carrying arm go short? It does. And if he moves again, it'll be a penalty to Halifax, which he does. So therefore, that'll be no try. That's the reason why we have the video screen. And they just got to it. Cardis went low, clinch over the top, and you can see clearly the ball carrying arm hits the deck. N-O-T-R-Y. There it is. And soon as Ball moved his arm, it will then be a penalty, and it will be given to the Blue Sox. No try.
Well, I think Rob Ball knew the moment the referee called for the video ref that he would be caught out, and it is a no try. Double movement penalty to the defence, to the Halifax Blue Sox. That means.
Well, a good effort there by the youngster, Rob Ball, but what an amazing offload there by the hooker, Mick Cassidy.
He's having a great season so far, isn't he?
Easy effort. Remember, Wigan bought Mark Reba to fill that spot. Robbie McCormack not being retained, and poor Reba has had to virtually play in the scrum half position because of the injury to Tony Smith.
That's a good job he's there, really. John Pendlebury watching on, a Halifax coach. Just down the gantry area from us here on this near side of the field. Holroyd, oh, that's charged down by Dennis Betts, so it's back to 0 in the tackle count this time for the Blue Sox. It's in the possession of Gavin Clinch.
Well, that's the second charge now that we've seen, and both sides really will be wanting to stand a little bit further back here. See, Betts got to the kick from Holroyd.
Here's Skerritt. He's had a couple of really strong runs early on here.
Well, you could see there he attracted 4 tacklers, and if you can do that and offload, it really does stretch a defence.
Halifax fans imploring the referee to give them a penalty for offside and to play the ball. He's having none of it at the moment. Oh, and Rowley went without it.
It was a great opportunity as well from Paul Rowley. There was 3 Wigan players struggling to get back into position, and that's where he normally takes full advantage, but not on that occasion. Pretty good with his hands, Paul Rowley, talented hooker.
And the top tackler, as we saw, as the two sides came into the arena. Now then, Florimo, good ball to Gilmore. Gilmore's got pace to burn. He's got support on his inside. This is Danny Moore, and a great tackle back by Blue.
Superb play there.
But what an attack from Wigan. And they're up in numbers now to support Farrell. Here's Cassidy, and Cassidy goes to the gap and scores again. Mick Cassidy with his 5th try of 1999. But put that down to the wonderful run from Danny Moore and the beautiful ball way back there from Greg Florimo that opened up this Halifax defence. Cassidy got the try, but what a break from Wigan.
The speed of Gilmore. Beautiful offload there, and you can see how Gilmore, playing in the centres tonight, they really struggled to get through to him. Beautiful ball back on the inside. Second rower, Jamie Bloom, got back, but they were always going to be in trouble. And this man, Cassidy, again, he pops up everywhere. They were short out wide. They had the overlap, but he threw the dummy instead. This is a break, high shot, superb pass there. You can see how 2 Halifax defenders went for Greg Florimo, the offload. Moore takes it on, full credit to Jamie Bloom to get back, but look at the top of the picture there. And you can see now that they are stretched. The defence is all over the place. Little dummy. What a season Cassidy is having. He's playing out of his skin. That is a fantastic Wigan try.
Well, he hasn't had a start to a season like this before, Mick Cassidy, not in terms of scoring tries. Can Farrell add the extras? Yes, he can. Wigan 6, Halifax 2.
You can see how the 2 defenders go into one, and look at the gap that it leaves for Gilmore. Superb standoff play there by Florimo. And this kid is just amazing, isn't he? The youngster, what a season he's having too. Lee Gilmore, and then when they were stretched, that man yet again.
So Halifax restart, and Wigan have got it back. And they're looking busy, Wigan. Danny Moore, hauled to the ground. Here's Farrell. And Farrell dropped to the ground by Craig. This now is Rob Ball. Chester gets to him with Jamie Bloom.
They really have got great firepower, haven't they, the Wigan Warriors? They're not frightened to attack from deep within their own quarter. It was an absolute superb pass by this man, Florimo. They caught the Halifax defence napping, 2 going on to 1.
Farrell gave himself plenty of room then to get the kick in downfield. Cardis is after it. It bounced very dangerously in front of Cardis just as he went to pick that up. He did well. Good chase downfield too. Here's Gavin Clinch now, surrounded by Wigan jerseys, leading the way, Farrell. And this is Andy Craig.
Well, the Wigan coach, John Marnie, was not impressed with their defence at that loss at home to St Helens on Good Friday. And I do know that they've been working very hard on their defensive patterns, and look at that, they are forcing Halifax down 1 central motion. They're running in out wide, not leaving Halifax any room to move.
Holroyd trying to drill the kick to the touchline, but Robinson's there to block the path. Good chasing by Holroyd and Pinkney. And Hull are ahead at Headingley after a quarter of an hour, 6-2. We saw Leeds last week come unstuck against the Sheffield Eagles. Steve-O, when you think what they have in store in the next fortnight, but what they've got to come in October at the grand final at Old Trafford, this Wembley business is a real hindrance to them.
Can be a problem, and it's already proved that. We said last week, this is a mistake by Gilmore.
Penalty now to Halifax. Mark Reba, picked out by referee Russell Smith, holding down.
Quite clearly there.
Bouveng trying to get to his feet.
Had no chance. Reba and Betts spoiling the party. Getting back to that Wembley issue situation, it really does sometimes put a club off. I know it's been a long time since Leeds have won silverware, over 20-odd years, but they can't afford to lose any more games.
I know that they've got a 30-match programme in Super League, and that might rescue them, but you can't afford to lose 4 of the first 6. And Halifax know that. That's why they are desperate for the victory here against Wigan tonight. Rowley at dummy half. Here's Clinch. Into the arms now of Holroyd, and Holroyd steps inside Reba. Great ball! Chester, what a try! Great ball from Holroyd. He stepped round the defender, and as he fell, flicked the pass into the arms of Chris Chester, and the 20-year-old, who's back after missing the last 2, has come up with a super try for the Blue Sox. Scores a level.
Rugby league at its best. Superb skills from Holroyd. Throws the dummy just as he commits himself there. You can see how Gilmore had been sucked in, and Chester, back after an injury, playing it loose forward. He'll enjoy this, but this is sheer skill. Beautiful pass there. You can see how Gilmore had been sucked in. Well, Gilmore took advantage a few moments earlier to score, make sure that Wigan scored the try, but this is sensational stuff. What a pass from Holroyd. What a finish. Wigan stunned.
Well, he was a nominee for the Young Player of the Year in 1998. The award went to Lee Gilmore. That was a great try from Chris Chester, created by Holroyd's pass, who's now trying to improve matters. And with the left foot he does. 2 more points to the Blue Sox. Halifax 8, Wigan 6.
You can see Gilmore thinks that he's going to get through. That's the reason why he's come back on the inside. Once he's sucked, left in no man's land. Half a metre, that's all it takes. Outstanding try.
Well, a try here against Wigan last year for Chris Chester, and now another in 1999. And that was a good take by Pinckney.
Powerful kick. And Pinckney, as you say, did exceptionally well there. Well, I must say, Skerritt is putting himself about.
Yes, Skerritt is up for the challenge here. 16.5 minutes gone. Halifax ahead by 8 points to 6. Let's have a word with one of their injured stars. Gary Mercer's with Bill.
Gary, that's a perfect response to that Wigan try, wasn't it?
It was. The boys showed a lot of positive there, and you know, we created Graham Holroyd, great hands, great vision, and we scored a try.
And what about the game plan so far for the Blue Sox?
It's going well. I don't want to disrupt it anymore. I think the boys are doing really well.
Just a quick word, Gary. There's speculation today that this neck injury you've suffered might mean the end of your career. What's the situation?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm not finished yet, so I'm just waiting on the 27th for a reply from the specialist, and we'll go from there.
Gary Mercer's not finished yet. That's bad news for everybody else in Super League.
But great news for Gary Mercer. And here's Jamie Bloom being penalised, claiming that Wes Davis was hanging on to his jersey.
Well, he must have been doing it with his teeth, because Davis's arm just flying around. Maybe he has got strong teeth.
The second Wigan penalty, and Cowie now some 38 metres from the Halifax line. This is Reba. He just pops it up for Mestrol to charge onto it. Chester, Bloom and Skerritt there, and Skerritt maybe feeling the pace of this match, just popped out the cheeks. This is Betts, Rowley and Des Clark with the tackle on him. Cassidy, back it goes to Rob Ball. Ball to the 20-metre line. Good tackle on him by Paul Broadbent. Cassidy dummy half. Reba on to Farrell. Cowie was wide, but Florimo was wider, but the dummy runners overshot him, and he has to take the tackle. It's the last one.
Well spotted there with a loose forward. Chris Chester went across for him. Blindside run. Plenty of people there.
Cardis, though, gets to it, and then Farrell gets to Cardis.
Well, perhaps not the best option there by Andrew Farrell, taking on the blind side, but I think he may have been held back.
He was. Chris Chester had hold of his shirt.
Well, that could have been a penalty, or should have been. He's got away with it.
Bouvang thought about going right, came back left, and it was a reception committee led by Mestrov and Cassidy that was waiting for him. Here's Des Clark.
Oh, big hit by Farrell.
But he did well. He got the ball away to Craig, and Craig Skerritt, and Betts was hunting for Kelvin Skerritt.
Skerritt did well to hang on to that ball. It was a real collision course there with Betts.
And Gavin Clinch finds touch.
And that's a key. He's taking control in the kicking department there for the Blue Sox.
He's just outside his 40-metre zone. It didn't reach the 20-metre area. So it's head and feed at the scrum to Wigan.
But they are the good tactics midway through this first half. Just keep turning Wigan around. Remember, Wigan are so dangerous when they get a roll on, and that's how teams can beat them, if they can just disjoint their rhythm.
Well, Paul Broadbent, who packed down in that scrum for the Halifax Blue Sox, making his 350th career appearance today. There he is, the number 8, in with the tackle. 350 career appearances, 327 of them for the Sheffield Eagles. This is Robinson. Oh, what a run from Robinson. Terrific tackle back by Gibson, and it had to be as well. Robinson, such a dangerous customer in open play like that. Mestrov does well, keeps his cool, finds Farrell. Good run from Farrell, wrestled to the ground by Bloom, but offside against the Blue Sox.
Miles offside.
Des Clark, the man picked out for being offside by referee Russell Smith. Jamie Bloom got the tackle in, but Des Clark was standing miles offside, says Russell Smith.
This will be a gift 2 points for Andy Farrell. Made no attempt. He was shouting at the players. It was not a knock on. Mestrov did well there. The dummy from Farrell.
And there's the black lines underneath the eyes for Des Clark. One looks like it's been rubbed off. Midway through the first half then, and the scores, I get the feeling, will be level in a moment, because Andy Farrell is lining up this shot at goal, and it's an easy angle for Farrell, who made his 200th appearance against Warrington last Sunday. And you're looking now at the only man to have played in every Super League game since the tournament began in 1996. And what's more, this now is his 54th consecutive scoring appearance for Wigan. 2 more points to Wigan, 2 more points to Farrell's career total. It's all square at the new Shay.
This is a problem that Halifax have at the moment. You could see they didn't go towards him, they allowed him, they hesitated. This guy has so much speed. And it surprised me a couple of occasions that Halifax have actually kicked towards his wing. He's the last person I think I would be pumping the ball down his throat.
But they all do that, don't they, in Super League? John Pendlebury passing on some words of encouragement via the walkie-talkie to his men. But we've seen so many teams target Robinson for the kicks.
I don't mind if they put a bomb up because he's such a small person. That's the key, but to virtually just give him a free run should not be my coaching manual.
Cowie in the blood bin, a cut on the side of his head, so an opportunity for Terry O'Connor, and there he is. O'Connor, substitute for the 3rd game in a row, plays the ball to Cassidy, on to Reba, and then he finds Rob Ball. There's Cassidy, and he's telling the tale of how he's got the cut on the side of the head. Robinson once again! Brilliant run from Robinson! They can't put him down! Halifax scrambling and clawing at thin air. It's the last tackle.
Well, Kelvin Skerritt got nowhere near Robinson there.
Here's Farrell, stabs it, oh, Farrell hits the deck. Cardis has picked it up. Cardis does well to get back into the field of play. But Farrell, as he kicked that forward, was clouted, and down he went.
Good tackle though by Mark Reba. Kicked through. Was in the motion, perhaps, of him kicking simultaneously.
And a Wigan hand knocked the ball forward, says referee Russell Smith. It's going to be head and feed to Halifax, and he's right, Connolly.
Clearly seen, so strong upper body strength on that man. Gary Connolly is quite amazing. Strongest arm wrestler in the world of rugby league.
Here's Andy Craig, great tackle by Florimo. Holroyd was the dummy half, and here's Gibson now.
Tremendous defence.
Broadbent wants this, he called for it, he made tracks from within the 10-metre zone, but could only get to the 20-metre line.
Well, they're hunting as a pack, this Wigan outfit in defence there, and it just goes to show you need something extremely special to break them down. We had it when Holroyd created that break and the pass to allow Chester to score.
Holroyd with a kick from deep in his own territory. And Wes Davis picks it up. Very cool hand. Wes Davis there.
Good positioning by the young fullback. Read it well, knew that Halifax were going for a 40-20.
Double change by Halifax. Clark and Skerritt off, and Gillespie and Marshall come on.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. John Pendlebury knew that Skerritt was struggling a bit there.
Here's Robinson again. Been a real thorn already in the Halifax side. Pop the ball back there for Reba. And here's Robinson once more, back and looking for work, hungry from the dummy half. Last tackle again. Reba, Florimo, stabs it towards the corner flag. He's turned Gibson round. Gibson has it though, and Gibson running flat. Oh, great run by Farrell, and finished off by Reba. Another change from Wigan. Goldspink's on.
Well, they really are up for it, this Wigan outfit. And look at a tackle there by Captain Courageous Andrew Farrell. Had a bit of a slow start to Super League, to be fair. Last week he played at Standoff, had an outstanding game. And maybe that was the catalyst to get him back into the swing of things. But he really is showing a lot of skill tonight.
Well, Hull have increased the lead at Headingley. 8 points to 2 they lead after 25 minutes of the first half. Clinch meanwhile with the kick downfield, and Robinson has to scamper back towards his own line, picks up, and the chase has to be good for Halifax now, and is. 8-2 at Headingley, Steve-O. Hull Sharks, they really are Leeds' bogey team, aren't they? I know normally at the Boulevard, not at Headingley, but look at that tonight, 8-2 they lead.
Well, the glum faces all around at Headingley, but a long way to go.
Giving them a fright. It's all square here at the new Shay. Reba gets the ball back, but that's good defence from Bloom and Chester. There was nowhere then for Lee Gilmore to go. Cassidy, O'Connor.
Well, I must say the big challenge of putting Jamie Bloom into the second row seems to be paying off. Getting through a lot of work is the South African.
Kick over the top by Farrell, and it was bouncing too dangerously for Gibson, so he let it go past him. Look at the wall that's arrived. A kick is only as good as the chase, so Steve-O tells me, and Wigan's chase then was superb.
Was it ever? No less than 11 men were racing downfield. Quite a lot of the other clubs, they'll be looking to get 4 or 5. But 11 just shows you the impact of making sure the kick and chase game is so good.
And that's why Halifax are penned in their own territory, but for how long? Here's Holroyd again. Turns the ball back on the inside. Gibson. Good tackle by Gilmore again. Good defence from Wigan. Here's Bloom. Forcing him up the middle. Nowhere for Jamie Bloom to go. Now Rowley to Clinch, who steps inside Cassidy and stabs through. Gavin Clinch. Inventive play. Maybe he should have picked it up. He had a wild hack at it, and Robinson was there to tidy up.
To be fair, he saw a player out on his right-hand side, and he wanted to use the left foot. He's pinched the ball as Clinch. It'll be a try.
It is for Carl Gillespie. The referee will hand it on to the video ref.
Whether 1 or 2 it tackled.
Was it 1 or 2 in the
look
tackle?
at that, please, video
Gavin
ref.
Clinch stole it.
When Gavin Clinch stole the ball, there was another defender very, very close. Can you tell me whether there's 1 or 2 in the tackle, please?
Well, there you are. That's what Russell Smith wants to hear and see, whether it was a 1 or 2 man tackle. Clinch against Davis.
1-on-1. This will be try time.
It will. And Gillespie grounds it safely. This will be a try for the Blue Sox. Well, that's our view. But let me repeat, we are no video refs. But it's confirmed. And Carl Gillespie only just on. And a sub in 95 when Halifax beat Wigan at Thrum Hall. The last time Halifax beat Wigan, the only time Halifax beat Wigan here, has come up with a try.
Beautiful play by Clinch. And on the second, you see how he just had a little look onto the right-hand side. He could see that he had one of his players away. Davis does everything right, apart from not holding on to the football. Well, it's a bad mistake, that. But good work by Clinch, and Gillespie eager to take it.
And Holroyd eager to add the two more. Standoff hunting the extras, and he's brought his kicking boots with him tonight, all right. And Graham Holroyd increases Halifax's lead. Well, gives it them again, 14-8.
Good work. And you can see that this guy, Gavin Clinch, realises that Wigan's defence perhaps can only be broken down by sheer skill or the kick. He just didn't get it right. Robinson came to the rescue. Davis went, did the right thing, did Davis, to go on his own, but Clinch whips the ball away. All part and parcel of the modern day rugby league game.
So 14-8, the Blue Sox giving Wigan a bit of a fright here. And here now is Richard Marshall. Met by Ball and Cassidy. Rowley to Broadbent. Gets through Florimo almost, but can't get away from Farrell. Bouveng's in the blood bin. Danny Seals come on. This meanwhile is Marshall again. Good strong run from Richard Marshall too. Rowley to Clinch. Here's Holroyd. Stabs it over the top, Holroyd to open space. Davis is there, does well. But great chase forward by Cardis. Had a conversation, Steve-O, with Phil Clark, the former Great Britain international, about these kicks over the top. He's not 100% himself convinced that that's always the best tactic. If they come off, it looks brilliant, but how many, he says, fail?
Well, coming from a man that I don't really think can kick, I don't think I'd take any notice. That's like asking me, how do you do a field goal? I never had one in my life.
But he's a respected figure within the game, old boy.
Well, if it's a boxer, you wouldn't ask him about wrestling, would you?
I don't know whether I quite follow, but I think I do. Here's Cardis.
Well, if you ask Gavin Clinch, perhaps I might take notice of him a little bit more than Mr. Clark. No offence to Mr. Clark, of course.
It's amazing. I put these talking points up to you and you pour cold water over them immediately before the debate even begins.
You amaze me sometimes.
Here's Marshall now, over halfway for the Blue Sox.
Well, that really has set this thing alight, hasn't it? This game really is on. That's a good... Oh, just a little bit too short there. He's having a wow of a game, Gavin Clinch.
In the pre-match interviews, he looked as though he was really anxious to put in a big performance tonight, Gavin Clinch. Try against Gateshead last Saturday, of course. And it's almost a year since he last missed a game. He's so important to the Blue Sox. At least he's one who has stuck around during this injury crisis that John Pendlebury's had.
Let's hope that he stays there. Good to see the referee, Russell Smith, talking to the players all the time. It really does help out there. That's why I classify him as not only the best in this country, but I think the best in the world at the moment. Russell Smith. I knew that had stunned you.
Well, you are tonight. Farrell is hauled down. Cassidy's the dummy half. And here's O'Connor, those cheeks of his puffed out as he sees the defenders approaching him, braces himself for the tackle, and he gets it too. This is Reba, now Betts, and Betts went for a gap, closed down by Gillespie.
It's vital now that the Blue Sox make sure that they've got a solid line of defence.
Last tackle. Farrell will hoist the kick. Cardis isn't the biggest fullback in the world, but he's quite safe under that.
Well, Farrell will be disappointed that he kicked it so deep, right down the throat of the full-back.
Actually, we haven't seen Daryl Cardis bombed terribly much by Wigan in this first half, have we? you thought that would be one of the tactics they might use.
That's right. And we also haven't seen the bomb on the young Wigan fullback, Wes Davis.
Good run from Broadbent.
Good tactics by Halifax. They're slowing this game down. They want it to be played at their pace, which can always be frustrating.
To Andy Craig, he got away from Connolly first time, but Farrell was awaiting. Rowley in at dummy half, scampering there. Here's Clinch again. And that's a good kick. This will put pressure on Davis. Oh, but he gets out of it so well.
Super step there by Davis. So casual, but so effective.
I suppose these days we might regard Wes Davis as a winger because of his appearances in Super League have generally been as a winger, but he is a natural fullback. 18 tries from fullback in the reserve team that won the championship last year at Central Park, so he's no stranger to the role, that's for sure. Here's Betts now for the Warriors again. It's been a good half so far for Halifax, but this is the time when Wigan are so dangerous, just before the half-time siren. Cassidy gets to his feet. Danny Moore was the dummy half. Reaver, on it goes then to Farrell. He tries to get away from Clinch, and he loses his pants, and he nearly loses the ball. He has to.
Good work there by Clinch. He was effecting the tackle. Well, I must say I was about to impress upon you, Eddie, that the Wigan halfback combination, Reaver and Florimore, really is not working. And that is the one thing that John Mooney, the Wigan coach, has to sort out for the second half.
This is Richard Marshall again, making his 60th appearance for Halifax tonight. He plays the ball to Rowley, who finds Broadbent, and Broadbent keeps it going and gets it back to Chester, but he is surrounded by cherry and white jerseys. Now, Rowley stabs it to the in goal. Davis is after it, and Davis picks up and runs the ball dead. Safety first from the Wigan fullback.
Well, this shows you why he is a regular fullback. His positioning yet again was superb there, anticipated the kick. Good work though by Rowley. This is Clinch. The official thought that he was onside, otherwise it would have been a penalty.
He hounded and harried Andy Farrell and produced the error.
Let's get them all, Wigan, get them all!
And Cardiff will pick the dropout up and take it back into Wigan territory, and then receive the first tackle this set of 6 from Rob Ball.
Well, at 14-8, really, I would be driving the forwards to the middle and then perhaps going for the one-pointer. That was forward, and it was well picked up there by the official.
Look forward to me, that Gavin. I gave it myself. I didn't look. I thought it would have caught.
And the referee is telling Gavin Clinch he gave that as a forward pass himself.
Well, you see from the high shot, and it was.
Good judgment from Russell Smith, because look where he was. He was 10 metres further ahead.
Now that's a sign of a very good referee, because he was looking on the line. It was right bang smack on the 40-metre line, and that's the reason why he picked it up.
Now then, here's Davis, who's chimed into the line. 4 minutes to the half-time break. Here's Connolly. Now Farrell. Just couldn't get away from Broadbent or from Carl Gillespie. Robinson to Florimo. It was Goldspink. Beg your pardon. There's Florimo.
Release! Connolly.
Cassidy to Farrell. Betts, good run back on the angle. And that's the last. Good defence from Halifax. Can they hang on for another one? Reba to Florimo, who'll hoist the kick out wide, looking for the tall figure of Danny Moore. And well claimed by Damien Gibson, who will now straighten it up. Goes round Florimo, makes good yards.
Well, it was a great kick. We said before the match started that they pinpoint Damien Gibson perhaps to the weak link. What a great take, and what a great stepping run.
Halifax gaining in confidence, but this is Jamie Bloom who's on his own and will have to take them on. Well, now Wigan are offside.
The official had already called. And you see that quite a few of them failed to get back to the referee. They must go back.
Well, they were all in front of the referee.
And this is the reason why he's spotted both Florimo and Gary Connolly, who failed to get back to that 10. Well, errors like that are yet again upsetting the rhythm of Wigan's play.
Rowley to Marshall. He'll drive it in. Maybe this is the moment for the big forwards to take it under the post and then come up with the one-pointer for Halifax. It's Broadbent who does exactly that. He broke one tackle and it was desperate defence. John Money watching anxiously on. Rowley back to Clinch, and Clinch steps back again, loops the pass into the arms of Craig, and Craig takes it back towards those sticks once more. That's the fourth tackle. Rowley back to Holroyd, fancies the one-pointer, and he gets it. That just increases the lead, and Graham Holroyd's having a great game for his coach John Pendlebury, who I'm sure passed the message down to go for the one.
The tactics, 1 point. Not only that, remember they will receive the football since they've reverted back to the old rule of the try scorer or the point scoring side receiving the football at the kickoff. Quick thinking yet again by the standoff Holroyd. What a night he's having. Little wonder, little grin there on the face. He knows how important that 1 point could be.
Off you go.
Farrell will restart.
Get him low, get him
Clinch
low.
gives it then inside to Marshall.
Hands off, Rob. Got it, Paul.
And there's problems for Danny Moore by the looks of things. He's hobbling on the wing over on the far side. Meanwhile, this is Cardis. Cardis too needed no motivation for this against his former club. This is Danny Seal now, very much back in favour here at the Blue Sox. 8 apiece at half-time at Headingley. Leeds have got back into that match. This is Broadbent.
Good work by the prop forward. He really has lifted his game for this one.
Here's Holroyd again. And Holroyd stabs it towards the in-goal. Davis is there. Great positioning from Davis. He's got to get away from Rowley, though, and can't. Great chase. And Wigan, with half a minute left, are penned on their own line. But for how long with Robinson?
The defence moved in there. And as you mentioned, Eddie, again, we see this youngster Davis reads the game well, especially with the kicking from Halifax.
He's not a bad player to have in reserve if Radlinski ever gets injured again, as he is now. Radlinski, probably the best full-back in Super League, and Davis, not a bad substitute. Here's Florimo, Wigan looking to strike right on the stroke of half-time. They couldn't put Gilmore down. Now it's with Reba. They put him down, and there's the half-time siren, and Halifax have built an interesting lead by 15 points to 8. Gilmore and Betts trudge off with Cassidy, who gave Wigan such a start. But it's the Blue Sox with 2 tries in that second half. One from Gillespie, one from Chester, just going through the screen. And Holroyd has been magnificent with his kicking and with his direction in general play. So the Blue Sox are ahead at half-time by 15 points to 8 against the Super League champions. Time in the Super League, the Halifax Blue Sox are ahead of the champions by 15 points to 8. And the big question round the new Shay, can the Blue Sox keep it going in this second half? John Money will have had words to say to his charges. Same, of course, for John Pendlebury. 15-8 Wigan are coming from behind in this second half. Can Halifax keep it going? That's a neat little kick-off, and Gavin Clinch did well, and he smiles because I think he was so close to losing control of that football.
I think he realised at first that perhaps it might have been a voluntary tackle. Oh, there's a first mistake, and it's a bad one too.
Chester couldn't get hold of the football, and he just shakes his head. Hero in the first half, villain at the start of the second.
That's tragic so early in the tackle count.
So Goldspink goes to the blood bin, and Mestrov comes back on. This, meanwhile, is Florimo. And first to him then was Danny Seal. Here is Dennis Betts. Betts gets to his feet. Cassidy, the dummy half. Reba, he looks right and finds Mestrov, who drives it in towards the posts. Opening minute of this second half. Cassidy to Farrell. And Farrell showed it to one and then gave it some width to Davis. Good tackle though on Davis. from Carl Gillespie. Reba again. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor spins in the tackle. As he went down, he looked over his shoulder, couldn't release. Last tackle, it's with Farrell, and Farrell fires the pass to Gilmore, and Gilmore, he's over the line, but he's held up. He's held up on his back over the line. He was on the last tackle, so it's the turnover.
Great defence. They really got underneath him here. Connolly perhaps thought that they'd have the scrum, but it was on the last.
Indeed, if it had been 1-5 in the tackle count, they would have had the scrum with head and feed Wigan. As it is, it was the last, so it's the turnover, and good defence rewarded for the Halifax Blue Sox.
Well, they'll breathe a sigh of relief there. The mistake from Chris Chester after the very first tackle.
Rowley, and the runner is Marshall. And it's play on, says Russell Smith, as Rowley takes it forward for the Blue Sox.
Get off. Wait, Mark. Stand square.
Clinch and Holroyd. Good ball straight into the bread basket of Chris Chester, who gets up, plays it to Seal. He finds Holroyd, and here now is Cardis. Cardis to the 40-metre line on the last tackle for the Blue Sox. Back it goes to Clinch. Here's Holroyd. Holroyd dabs it over the top. It bounces, and Davis claimed it, but then got shot in the tackle.
Couldn't have been more than a quarter of an inch away from the whitewash there.
Let's get the half-time news. Here's Bill.
As you'd expect, the half-time news from Halifax, well, they just want to maintain their momentum that they built up towards that end of that first half. Cut out the errors and just keep the pressure on. Don't change anything was the basis of the message from coach John Pendlebury, who's come down to watch his side from the sidelines now. The Wigan approach, I think they want to tighten up around the play the ball where they feel that they're being exploited, and they also want to stop Halifax offloading. But Chris Rydlinski, the injured Wigan full-back, watching this one from the sidelines, there has got to be an improvement, hasn't there, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the moment, you know, we're not establishing any field position. Halifax are playing us down in our 25, and you know, really we haven't been in there. Gavin Clinch is dictating play very well, and hopefully, if we get a bit of field position, a bit of pressure down there, then we should, you know, get some points on the board.
This is Clinch now. He and Holroyd really have been running the show, and Wigan in this desperate situation for them, because Dennis Betts was really caught in possession in his own 20-metre zone, and it was a wild kick downfield. This is Jamie Bloom now, and he's back in the 20-metre area for the Blue Sox. Rowley at dummy half. Clinch again. Misses out Broadbent and finds Holroyd. Lovely ball back to Danny Seal. Big collision by Betts. Last tackle here for the Blue Sox. They're running it with Clinch out wide, but forward to Cardis.
Went for the power play there from Clinch. Hesitated, made it look as though he was going to kick. But you can see that the Cardis, the fullback, had just overrun it. Just slightly, not much in it. Champ's gone begging. Well, it's an improvement all round. That's what's needed for the Wigan side. Tense times for their coach, John Money. There you see 5-4, the handling errors.
Well, Wigan have got the best attack and the best defence so far. But Halifax have pierced that defence twice and not played properly by Tony Mestrov. Got to get to your feet and put the ball on the deck, not play it like that. He will claim, though, that Richard Marshall was all over him.
You'll find that Richard Marshall gets a hand to this. Yep. And that's the reason why Mestrov is not too impressed with the official Russell Smith. He knows that he's being conned. There was definitely a finger in there from Richard Marshall.
Well, interestingly here, Graham Holroyd, from just inside the Wigan half of the field, is going to have a shot at goal.
Well, it's the same tactics that they employed in the first half. Slow the game down to their speed. We've seen it happen against the Wigan outfits over the past few years. This is a penalty. You can see that Marshall definitely had a fingertip in there.
And Russell Smith was well positioned, wasn't he?
Sure was.
He didn't see that on the screen, Richard Marshall, then, did he? Because he had a little smile as we caught him on camera again.
They do have a little glance from time to time.
So Holroyd.
Officials don't, of course.
No.
They're not allowed to.
Never. Left foot from Holroyd. Oh, how's that? Graham Holroyd with a super kick. 47 metres, I made that. And 17 points for Halifax now.
Beautiful connection. He's a man of the moment.
Lovely draw on that ball as he planted it over the top of the crossbar. So 17-8. If Wigan didn't know, and John Money didn't know, they know now that in a battle royal, and the longer this game's on, the greater the Halifax confidence.
Well, it's simple, basic football from the Blue Sox. They are ensuring that they get through their set of 6. Okay, there was the mistake from Chester early in this second half. And it's important now, and I'm sure that John Pendlebury, the coach, would have got the message out to let's play out all the 6. Kick and chase, frustrate Wigan throughout this second half.
This is the last one. Clinch with the kick all along the deck. Even though the pitch is very firm, it's quite greasy on top. They were looking for the mistake there, the handling error from Davis. But a good chase downfield from Darryl Cardis. Here's Robinson. There's always danger when Robinson gets it, and Bloom and Danny Seal knew that. And the second pull from Danny Seal, penalty to Wigan on halfway.
Discipline there, and that's allowed Wigan to get another 40 metres upfield. And it's things like that can just change the game.
Here's O'Connor now. 8 minutes, second half gone. 17-8, the Blue Sox ahead. Cassidy to Reba, on then to Mestrov. Mestrov drives it in, but Rowley and Broadbent. Cassidy again to Farrell. And Farrell, oh, it wasn't the best pass, it was put down. I think that ball had a big red cross on it, and Gary Connolly got a real clunk.
Well, you've got to be brave to take these balls. And he just had a slight little look there, Connolly. You could see that Carl Gillespie was just moving in. But you need to be brave, as I say. A delayed pass from the skipper, Andrew Farrell. Interesting to see there that Farrell has now gone into the first receiver when nearly all Wigan plays. So maybe we may see different tactics from Wigan.
Here's Chester. And Farrell puts him down. And that could have been a flop from Rob Ball.
Certainly arrived late.
Gilmore and Reba put Danny Seal on his back. This is Gibson. And Cassidy stood his ground. Here's Holroyd. Look this way. Got the kick in. Could be. Unless Davis gets to it, which he does.
Well, I must say, you've got to admire this youngster's positioning. They really have put him under a lot of pressure, but Davis has held up to it, apart from the fact that when Clinch pinched the ball, has been faultless.
Robinson struggling on his back to get to his feet. Does so now. Danny Moore limping up to half-time, but apparently okay to come out for the second half. Here's O'Connor. Drive forward by the substitute. He's got bandaging on the left knee, though, Danny Moore. And here's some space for Farrell to exploit. Good tackle by Danny Seal, helped out by Chris Chester. Last one. Reba will scamper forward from dummy half. The support arrives from Gilmore, who hoists the midfield bomb. Cassidy's after this, and Cassidy gets it, but then drops it.
With a knock on, no advantage, hand over on the last. Well, that's the second time in the second half that Wigan have failed to get the ball to a recognised kicker. On that occasion, it was Lee Gilmore, and a few moments earlier, it fell to the hands of Dennis Betts, and it just shows you that Wigan are becoming frustrated. How long will he stay on? That's the big question too. Maybe it's time for John Money to throw in the 2 young kids, take the gamble.
Well, Mark Smith comes on, but it's because of a blood bin. 17-year-old. Substitute last Sunday also. And against Hull. In round 1, when Wigan won by 58 points to 6. They've not had it all their own way since then. Leeds have hit the front, a quarter of an hour into the second half. 10-8. Meanwhile, Holroyd, and what an important tackle that was from Mark Reba. This is Jamie Bloom, and Bloom dabs the ball into touch. South African international Bloom.
Quick play of the ball, quick thinking there, but that's the man to save the day yet again. Mark Reba, man of the moment. Graham Holroyd had thrown the dunny, he was away. And a beautiful executed tackle by Reba, who's got through a lot of work in defence, but it's not the quality that Wigan need. They need to do something in attack.
Mark Reba played hooker against Warrington last week for the first time, probably the role that John Money brought him over here to play, and he scored a try. But he's not a regular scrum half, and Tony Smith still some way away, I understand, from returning to Super League duty.
Well, do you think perhaps John Money might throw Reba into the hooking role, Cassidy into the second row, put Florimo at half-back, and the loose forward Andrew Farrell go to the stand-off position? They've got to dig deep for something.
Oh, Cassidy was almost away there. He managed to get the pass away, though. That was Florimo. Reba in there quickly. Farrell stabs it, but that's going to be far too deep from Farrell. It's a deceptive ground, this, because the pitch is set some way away from the stands at either end. And Farrell, I think, was aiming that towards the advertising hoardings, and he got it totally wrong. Now, next Friday morning, first international of the season for you, live from Stadium Australia in Sydney, the Aussies against the Kiwis. Robbie and Henry Paul, of course, in the New Zealand side. Next Friday, 10:30, live here on Sky Sports 1. And it's a precursor to our visit to Odsal later in the day for the Bradford Bulls against the Halifax Blue Sox. So it's quite a day for rugby league fans next Friday here on Sky Sports. Quite a weekend every weekend here on Sky Sports, to be fair. Whoa, big hit by Connolly on Marshall. Castleford Gateshead, by the way, is our next fixture in the Super League, Sunday evening, 6:30 on Sky Sports 1.
Well, Marshall just does not know where he is. What a big hit from Connolly.
Clinch hoists the bomb, and Cardis is after this. Cardis puts a foot to it, and there is Gibson. Cardis, oh, it just ran too far away from him, and he was so close to a sensational try then. Darryl Cardis against the side that gave him away.
Well, that would have been absolutely superb football. Was he held back? Oh, maybe just pushed, but I don't think he'd have got there anyway. The ball was going a little bit too fast.
Cardis and Gibson so close there.
Well, it was a huge kick, wasn't it? And they just stood around. They allowed Cardis all the time in the world to get to it.
Cassidy again.
Well, he won't give in.
He will never. Reba gives it to Florimo. Beautiful ball to Betts. Forward to Gilmore.
Oh, Gilmore. Handbags at 5 paces. Crowd don't like it. This is the forward pass.
Dennis Betts saying it was never forward. He was never knocked out either, which is another claim he's made to the referee.
Have a minute.
Well, you try your best when you make a mistake. It was not going to be comp. Russell Smith. Again, another error from Wigan. Now, I must say, they are trying to play a more expansive game now, Wigan. They're standing a lot deeper. They feel perhaps that there is the chance of a break out wide. Of course, Gilmore had that wonderful break early in the first half.
It's Carl Gillespie. Rowley, the dummy half. And the runner is Danny Seal. Incredible story, Danny Seal. He missed out on first team duty all of last year, but he's very much back in favour in '99 with Pendlebury. And here now is Jamie Bloom slapping the tackles away. Can't get away from Cassidy though, but still offloads to Clinch. He then gives it to Cardis, who's joining the attack more and more.
Well, surely drive down towards the sticks. Holroyd set up for yet another one-pointer.
Rowley.
Good run from the hooker as well. Well, surely this is where Holroyd should be screaming for the football.
Well, he's not. And they've gone the other way from him. It's with Clinch. And Clinch with an angle kick to in goal. Well claimed by Wes Davis. The kick into the in-goal diffused.
Well, the first real ball that they've applied the pressure, and he's equal to the task. Read him well.
He looks an accomplished full-back, doesn't he?
Got a great step as well as a youngster. But yet again, Wigan, look at that, 5-3. They've got to really work hard, and he's lost that football. That'll be the knock-on.
And he's claiming Jason Robinson. The ball was pinched in a two-man tackle.
It was. It was knocked out, deliberate as well.
Danny Seal.
Steele got an arm to it there. That's a couple of occasions that it's not been spotted by the official. But maybe there was only one could have been deemed to be there. Gillespie was a little bit late in arriving. So that should have been play on, maybe, but the knock-on was given the opposite way.
Not terribly impressed by the decision. Ball is held in the scrum and is being pushed forward.
Knock on.
Offside.
Too smart by half. Too smart by half. They have bombed that by trying to be too smart. They're claiming that he's broken away from this pack before it has gone away, but as soon as that foot was dabbed forward, that's when he went for it. Well, that is a bad mistake there.
Frustration now, the name of the game.
Well, Wigan can't afford to be sucked into this kind of thing, but neither can Halifax when they're holding the commanding lead, 17-8. They've got to go for the 1 point again.
Let's just relax. Let's get in and let's get away from the scrum. Now let's relax and get on with the job. Shut up.
The referee, Russell Smith, talking to the big men in the front row.
Takes a brave man to tell the pack to shut up.
It's all right if you're in green. You're not going to get tackled like that. Now then, here's O'Connor. And Wigan 8 handling errors. Here's Farrell, injecting pace, showed it to Betts. Oh, got away from Chester. But couldn't get away from Broadbent or Holroyd. This now is Florimo. Robinson was on an angled run. Florimo went down a blind alley, really. Gillespie kept him out. Here's Farrell again. Farrell shaping to kick, stabs it towards the in goal, and Gibson just shuttles the ball down. That's a much better kick from Farrell, and safety first from Damien Gibson.
That'll lift the spirits. Beautiful rolling kick there. Gibson said, let's get out of here. Well, this is the first time in this second half that Wigan are starting to get the roll on, and that's what they need. This will be a dropout, so therefore 6 more tackles. Been a long time since they've applied this sort of pressure.
Holroyd will try and get as much length on this as he can. Bounces on the halfway. Robinson collects it on the bounce, gives it to the big man O'Connor to run it back. Oh, what a hit by Gillespie! Halifax have the ball back.
Big time, Gillespie. Well, if he hadn't had a name on the back, I would have sworn that was a brick wall out there.
And he takes a little swig from the magic water and carries on. On halfway, Rowley to Broadbent. The longer this game goes on, the greater the belief for Halifax Blue Sox. Terrific stuff.
What a hit. Oh, that warms the cockles, doesn't it?
Here's Holroyd. Now it's Danny Seal. Robinson couldn't get to him.
Drive to the sticks. Holroyd yet again.
Bloom.
That's what he's doing.
Keeps the legs pumping to within 10 metres. Holroyd set for the 1 pointer this time. It's with Holroyd. Drop goal attempt. He's got it. Another point for Holroyd. Another point for the Blue Sox.
Just what the doctor ordered. And the medic Pendlebury should have a smile after that. Holroyd in charge of this game. So important. Calm, cool and collected is the coach. So is the man that's potted over the 1 point.
He's just having a word with Des Clark on the sideline. Maybe we'll see Clark return shortly. As it is, Skerritt has just come back for Paul Broadbent. But John Pendlebury, one of the most affable and quiet men in rugby league. There's Skerritt. If anyone wants to win, there is a genuine burning desire in Skerritt. But John Money is watching his men, well, being outplayed, Steve-O, so far.
No doubt about that. We thought perhaps that Wigan, with a complement of forwards, with O'Connor and Goldsmith on the bench, another kick over the top.
Rowley, it doesn't come off for him though, Davis. But a great chase down by Rowley, and then appealing for the knock-on.
He lost it. He definitely lost it in the tackle. And you can see there that Rowley, the big hit underneath, he just lost possession to the fullback.
And maybe there was a little arm of Chris Chester in over the top as well.
If it goes back, yeah, well, perhaps that should have been play on. There, the ball is going to go backwards, and it was backwards.
Well, from the scrum, Bloom has it. And he is eventually wrestled to the ground by Gilmore. And here goes Skerritt.
Another big hit there, Gilmore. He stood his ground.
That's how close Halifax are. This is clinch. Here's Chester. Chester to Holroyd. Out wide. Looking for Gibson. And all he found was the touchline.
He knows it too. Under a lot of pressure though, Holroyd. Oh, nobody. Well, that could have been the match clincher.
It could.
It's a big mistake.
Gillespie is withdrawn and Des Clark returns. Leeds have gone further ahead at Headingley, 16 points to 8 now against the Hull Sharks. A quarter of an hour of that one to go. Slightly longer here at the new Shay as Cowie drives it in again for the Wigan Warriors. But I wonder who is your man of the match. 0660 10 10 13. We're asking for your votes now, and the prize, as ever, a couple of tickets to the grand final on October the 9th. You can book your place, and I wonder who you'll be seeing, because this is going to be one of the most open Super Leagues in years, if the opening 6 rounds of the competition are anything to go by. Here's Farrell.
Starting getting into the swing of it as well as Farrell, running out wide.
Florimo on the last will hoist a massive bomb under pressure from Rowley. Oh, that's bounced fatally. Has it? Oh, maybe. Pitch dropped it.
That'll be a knock-on. Oh, he did well to get back to that. Damien Gibson. It would have been a gift, 4 points to Wigan. You never allow the ball to do that. And Pinkney just gets it there, knocks on, and it just came back into it. Look at the scavengers that was all around him.
Well, they allowed the ball to bounce to Halifax defence, and as we showed a week ago tonight at the Broncos, it's fatal to allow the ball to bounce on the huge bomb. And there's Nick Pinkney, mirrored in the big screen as Robinson scampers forward from the base of the scrum. Now, this is a huge opportunity for Wigan, and Holroyd knows it, doing his best to hold up the Wigan Warriors. And Phil Jones making his Super League bow. And here is Brawl. Oh, Goldspink had the ball stolen from him by Gavin Sling.
Number 2, thank you very much. One of the smallest men on the field against one of the biggest. Talk about strength. Give it to me. Pinching the dummy off the big fella.
Here's Des Clark. Had a breather on the bench, now he's back for the last quarter of an hour. Better defence this from Wigan.
Well, this really has had everything this match. Some wonderful skills, especially from Holroyd.
Can the Blue Sox hold on for a famous win? Holroyd slides the kick through again. Good positioning once more from Wes Davis. Good chase by the Blue Sox.
Well, Wigan are very slow to get back.
Here's Connolly, as Malcolm really said during half-time, he's had a quiet match. Great tackle by Bloom on Gilmore. Nearly lost his jersey as well. And that's Florimo, trying desperately to inject a bit of pace at the play of the ball. Here is Cassidy.
His run all night is a hooker, Cassidy, but not much support, I must say.
Jones was the dummy half. Robinson, back it goes to Farrell, and Farrell stabs it through again. That's an interesting kick, Gibson's after it. Moore's leading the chasers, and Moore gets to Damien Gibson.
Good work there by the winger, Gibson.
Cardis.
He's worked overtime too.
Well, how he will enjoy a victory against Wigan if victory it turns into. Daryl Cardis. That was Nick Pinkney though with that little run. And that's Andy Hobson getting to his feet, playing the ball and clinch with a kick over the top. And it's eluded Davis, and he had to pick that up because that was going for a 40-20. Big style. Great chase by Bloom. One or two people scratched their heads, but John Pendlebury had put him in the second row for the first time, we believe, in his career. But he's proving the doubters completely wrong.
Well, again, we saw the importance of this kicking game, and Gavin Clinch, the big chase from the South African Bloom.
And 29 tackles from Jamie Bloom. He has repaid his coach's faith in him. From the three-quarters into the second row, maybe John Pendlebury's found a new position for the South African.
Halifax player down, went into the tackle.
Des Clark it is, he's not looking well, he's gone straight to the touchline. He, I think, is out and injured. This is Danny Moore. And there's Phil Jones. And it's caught on the last tackle, is Jones. It's the turnover. He's played the ball, but it's actually Halifax's turnover.
Well, they didn't realise the youngster there. They went for the power play, and I must say that you can see quite clearly that Danny Moore has a problem. He could barely get into top stride. He did well to offload in the end, but that just shows you the frustration. Wigan are trying everything, but this Halifax defence, they really have worked overtime. They've shared the work.
Rowley's the dummy half. Clinch. Skerrett. Went straight into the chest of Gilmore, and it's still going, Kelvin Skerrett. Great Britain international, Welsh international captain Skerrett. Rowley. Clinch. Holroyd. Taking them on. Good ball. Cardis. Cardis against Davis. Now he's Moore.
What a great tackle from Moore, it had to be.
Rowley. Clinch. Holroyd. Clark. Well, he looked as though his evening was finished, but Des Clark is back on the field. And it's the turnover now for Wigan.
Well, he got a bad knock there a couple of seconds ago, did Clark. They moved him out to the wing, and he found himself being given the football. But look at this defence here, they're moving forward.
Danny Seal is withdrawn and Boubeng returns.
Well,
Danny Seal's done well.
They haven't had much success against his Wigan outfit over the years. But they've had some real classy sides.
Robinson. Oh, what a break from Robinson. And who's there to bring him down? Inevitably, it's Jamie Bloom. Bloom's had a magnificent match.
Run himself to a standstill.
There's a new word for you, magnificence.
I'll get my dictionary out for that one.
Don't worry. And that's Florimo with the high kick. It hangs again. Cardis this time doesn't let it bounce. Up he goes, Cardis. What a run! What a run!
He's enjoying this. Just got it there, and that'll be a knock-on from Connolly.
No, I think somebody pinched the ball. I think Connolly pinched the ball.
He did, but a one-on-one.
Cardis, and it was an ankle tap from Farrell.
He's got to make the tackle, and it's effected, so it's completed. He took the ball rather than do the tackle. It hit the ground, so therefore the official has deemed that the tackle was completed. Penalty. Well, it was a split decision, wasn't it?
Bloom with the penalty, deposits it into touch. More pressure on this Wigan line inside the last 10 minutes of the match. And a great contest between these two.
Hands up in one.
Safety first again from the Blue Sox. Possession is vital. Get Holroyd set up yet again.
On your line.
Here's Skerrett. Skerrett. The devil's own job to put him down, but Cassidy and Gilmore getting to him. Rowley, Clinch, Chester just managed to pick it up. Where's the Wigan defence? It comes back in the shape of Farrell. I thought for a moment Chester was through. Rowley, Holroyd looked wide for the kick to Boubeng. Boubeng catches it, flicks it back, and it came off Danny Moore.
Forward pass!
But a forward pass from the Halifax man first, David Boubeng. And Wigan get head and feet at the scrum.
Good tactics there by Graham Holroyd, kicking on the fifth rather than the fourth rather than the last, should I say. Now then, did he have a stab at that? That's an interesting one.
He did, but it was a forward pass ruled against Boubeng, Steve-O.
Oh, yes.
Big five back.
But what a great kick from Graham Holroyd. He's had a magnificent match. I mean, the half-back combination of Gavin Clinch, Graham Holroyd, they really have outplayed their opposite numbers, Florimo and Reba.
Wes Davis trying to employ a bit of pace out wide. Your votes are required still for man of the match. If you're a Wigan fan, you might still emerge. Oh, 6-0, 10-10-13. 2 tickets to the grand final on October the 9th.
Well, if you attempt and say that word yet again,
here's Farrell.
You might win it.
Connolly. Cowie. Over halfway. Bloom missed the tackle then. But Skerritt was there as heavyweight reinforcements. Florimo stepping round Marshall. Stabbing it to the corner. That's a wasted kick. That's a totally wasted kick from the Australian.
Well, at least he's trying something different. Beat 2 players under a lot of pressure. And there's quite a few tired players on the Wigan outfit now. He's worked hard, but he knows quite openly that he's been outplayed by Graham Holroyd.
Both sides working so hard. 237 tackles made by Halifax, 219 by Wigan. What a game this is.
Hands off, Lee! One.
We nearly lost that, Boubeng. 7 minutes to go. 10 points the difference. Pinckney in possession for the Blue Sox. Now Damien Gibson.
Good work as well. Runs from the dummy half, slowly but surely, eating up the time.
Gavin Clinch. Over the top it goes. Good kick from Clinch. Finds touch and just eats a few more seconds up on the clock. Halifax will be in no hurry to get to this scrum.
It's been a masterful display by Gavin Clinch. His kicking tonight has been absolutely superb.
Referee Russell Smith saying to the Blue Sox, come on. Get to this scrum, and he's holding the clock up. You hear him? Don't risk a penalty by lazying into the scrum, he said to the Halifax pack then. But their tactics, Steve-O, were obvious once that ball crossed the whitewash. They were in no rush.
And they've achieved that throughout this match. You starve the ball off Wigan, you've always got a great chance. I can remember a couple of seasons ago when the London Broncos went to Central Park and pulled off a real shock draw that day. And they just slowed it down, made safe, good kick and chase game, and that's what Halifax has done tonight.
Farrell, tackled by Craig. Robinson, Florimo, Moore. He's not right anymore. Got that injury to his left knee. Florimo under enormous pressure. Couldn't get the pass away. Oh, and Danny Moore swung the foot at that and then realised if he'd have connected, he'd have been offside. He was stood in front of Jason Robinson. Great tackle by Wes Davis. Rowley to Bloom. Bloom again.
He's having the time of his life in the forwards. Well, I doubted perhaps that his discipline would be tested, especially playing in the forwards, but full credit to the South African. He's done his job, got about it. A rare smile from Pendlebury.
And a scowl from John Money. Here's Holroyd. Holroyd just held 8 metres short of the line. Last tackle for Halifax Blue Sox. Here's Clinch, another one-pointer. He slides it over. And Russell Smith gives the signal that Clinch's 1-point drop goal will count.
That's all that's needed. Doesn't matter how many points you score, you receive the football. And full credit to John Pendlebury, last season's Coach of the Year. But what a night for this guy. He really has controlled things out there alongside his partner.
Well, I told you earlier on tonight that Halifax have won over the past 25 years just once here in Halifax against Wigan, and that ball didn't go 10 metres forward, so it's a penalty to Halifax on the halfway line. But they're on the threshold here, the Blue Sox, of a famous win in the last 4 minutes.
Well, it's a ploy that we showed before the game started, that the short kickoff, that's all they were left with. They were fighting not only for the get back into this game, but I think a little bit of pride as well. He knows it is a marvellous win. I just cannot see Wigan getting out of it now.
John Pendlebury behind him, Nicky Kiss, two former Wigan greats in their time. Now masterminding the downfall of the Warriors here, perhaps. I say perhaps because the gap is 11 points. It should be enough with 3 minutes left for play. Marshall drives it in again.
Hold your line.
John Money, his squad thinner this year than ever before, and tested by injury and facing the second Super League defeat of the season here. Not the best pass. Andy Craig let it go underneath his boot, and Gibson has turned, and Pinckney rather, has turned it into something.
Well, another drive, and perhaps it always lost that football. That'll be the knock on. Pinckney not impressed.
Yes.
But he knows he's come up with a mistake. Well, again, Halifax missed the opportunity there to perhaps add yet another 1 point. He's not happy, thought that he was interfered with, but deep down, I'm sure that he knows he's come up with a mistake. But it won't worry him. As the seconds are ticking away.
Yes, maybe the gap now is too great for even Wigan to bridge with 2 minutes to go. Here's Robinson. This Halifax defence has been fantastic all night. Farrell, Florimo juggled with it, good ball back to Moore, but he was watched all the way by Chris Chester, who is another star of the Blue Sox performance. This is Gilmore. And how different it looked when Gilmore strode away in the first half and laid the try on for Cassidy. Oh, Farrell nearly put a pass down. A minute and a half to go. Robinson, this is the last tackle. Wigan are running it. And that will be play on. No, it won't. Bloom's got it back. And Halifax now will play out their set of 6. And surely will claim only their second win against Wigan in this town for the last quarter of a century.
And well deserved, I might add. Proud moment there for John Pendlebury, who was just hidden there from your view, but he should have a huge smile. This has been an outstanding effort.
Dabbed over the top by Clinch, that finds touch, and no wonder Richard Marshall was quickly to Gavin Clinch to just pat him on the head.
Well, he was so instrumental in Halifax's success last season. It's taken him a little while to get into the swing of things this year, but after tonight's performance, he really has controlled it out there.
The last half minute, not even Wigan can score 11 points in 30 seconds. And Halifax's supporters now singing and counting down to this historic win. Florimo, long pass out wide to Moore, roughed up by Bouveng and Bloom. 10 seconds away from 2 priceless Super League points. Just listen to this crowd. They're counting down to victory. And victory it is for John Pendlebury and the Halifax Blue Sox. John Money beaten for the second time. The referee hasn't heard the final siren, so play continues. Now it will finish. And there it is. Halifax win by 19 points to 8. The boot of Holroyd and Clinch in the second half. Money hurries down to get into the dressing room, but Halifax and Graham Holroyd will milk this occasion for all it's worth. 15-8 up at half-time, just 4 points in the second half. and Halifax scored all 4. The Blue Sox have won by 19 points to 8. A match and a victory engineered by Holroyd and Clinch at halfback. Well, now Phil Arthur is with a victorious coach, John Pendlebury.
The very calm-looking Halifax Blue Sox coach, but John, that must be a very, very satisfying win for you.
Yeah, an important win. We let ourselves down last week, and we just did the basics now. Not pretty stuff, but certainly effective.
Heroic stuff as well. I mean, it's hard to pick out a hero from a performance like that. I mean, everybody in the 17 did their stuff, but Jamie Bloom, I think, epitomised what it was about for you guys tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, well, last season, we showed plenty of spirit, and this year so far, we missed a couple of fellas, but certainly tonight, everybody's put the best foot forward.
And you don't have to be big to win this game, as Gavin Clinch showed.
No, like I say, just effective, that's the important thing.
Well, as you say, back on track.
Well, there's a long way to go, isn't there? It's an even competition this year, and you just got to be prepared every week.
Thanks, John.
Yeah. Unflappable, modest, and very gracious in victory, as gracious as he is in defeat, John Pendlebury. But the Halifax supporters will celebrate this win for a long, long time, and so will Darrell Cardis. A sweet moment for Cardis and for Craig and for Kelvin Skerritt, the former Wiganers in this team. Well, still to come for you tonight.